Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another show here at the Philos Project. I'm Luke Moon, Executive Director of the Philos Project, and I am with Neveen Elias. And she is a fellow with the Philos Project, but for the purpose of this conversation, she is living in the north of Israel on the border with Lebanon. And she's a IDF uh, soldier, officer. Which one? What do you say? What do you say
Yes,
you are?
I am officer at the Home Front Command.
Oh my gosh. It's a big deal. Big deal. So, Naveen, you have been with the Philos Project for a long time. What, 6 years, 5 years, something like that? And all the whole time, we have been bringing lots of groups to Jish, to Gush Halav, which is where you live, and you serve our friends, right? We have typically have this amazing meal on your porch, and big spread, lots of food, lots of really good food. You're a great cook, make amazing desserts. So listen, what I'm gonna just like ask you a bunch of questions, and just feel free to just have a regular conversation. So, how are you? How's life up in the north of Israel right now?
So first of all, I want to share that we are pray and wait for our normal life to come back and to have you back here in our village and our beautiful north here in Israel. And yeah, it's become very difficult after October 7. Since Hezbollah decided to support Hamas after October 7, and our life become very difficult. The economic situation, the social action. Every day we hear drones, rockets offers, hear explosions, sirens, and many people get panic, and a lot of people decided to evacuate and more. You know that the government also decided to evacuate more than 100,000 people, and really the north is very sad. It's empty. The business is down. No tourists, no people came and visit. Also, the family, the close family, and they cannot come back, and they afraid to come here and visit here the families. So it's really become very difficult. And
Wait, let me ask you this: Do you so in your village, in your town, how many people are still around, who have stayed, and how many do you think have left, percentage wise? Is it like 50% have left, or more, or less, or
So our village, if I take my area where my home, it's far than the Lebanese border, 3.5 kilometers, and the other side it's like 5 kilometers. So the government didn't evacuate our village, but a lot of people decided to evacuate. My brother is the first person that left the village and went to Haifa. We don't have a lot of people that evacuate, but if the situation become more difficult, we at the home front command make like call the citizens here in Jish and ask if they want to evacuate. And the last few days, we hear that a lot of people want and ask to evacuate, but still wait for the government, because if the government asks to evacuate, they will pay for us for evacuate. But if we decided to evacuate, we need a lot of money to rent a car, a home, and to leave, our schools, and it's not easy.
right? So a lot of people in what I'm hearing is a lot of people in your particular area, this, still like 3.5 kilometers from the border or 5 kilometers. It's like say 2 to 3 miles is what that is, uh, and they haven't left, but it's also it depends upon the government saying, hey, like you need to go, right? Then because that way, the government pays for it.
Yeah, so the because it's very dangerous for these places to stay, they ask them to evacuate, and no one tell these people when they can come back to their homes, and no one will tell them because no one know. Like in the beginning, they say maybe it will take 1 month, 2 months. Until now, it's 8 months done, and no one come back, and a lot of homes were destroyed. I visit a lot of here moshavs and kibbutz in our area, and a lot of homes were destroyed. And also I visit a lot. I have a lot of friends also evacuate, and I went to check how they live, and to ask about them. And I feel how much their people is very sad. And a lot of people say, we are like, if the time's back, we will not evacuate, we will stay in our homes. And also, our story in Baram, and now all the people say that really we are now understand how you feel and how your forefathers feel when they ask you to evacuate and you didn't still come back. And yeah, they really pray and cannot wait to come back. And it's still, the government decided this. And if the government didn't ask us to evacuate, we will not evacuate.
And is it like keep going on this thread here? If they if the government says you need to evacuate, does it mean you have to evacuate, or are people kind of like gonna gonna be like, no, I'm gonna stick around?
Yeah, so a lot of people also in the, for example, Metula and Kiryat Shmoni decided to stay. But they try to find a safer place for them, because maybe sometimes it's in the same side of Lebanon. And they will not like, if you want to stay, you will stay, but they will know that you are stay in this place. And ask home front command to take care about people that decided to stay. And I hear about a lot of people, they say, we will stay at homes, we will not evacuate, we want to keep our borders, our villages and kibbutz, and they stay.
Well, I mean, I guess you brought up Baram, right? So for people who are watching and don't know the story of Baram, that was a Maronite Christian town that during the war in '48 they were asked to leave to because it was kind of in one of those like crossfire zones, similar to what people are very close to the border in right now. And people left, and they basically never got a chance to go back. Is that right?
Yes, yes. I think that it's the same scenario happen again. It was Operation Hiram, and it was very close to the border, and they asked to evacuate just because to keep the citizen, like to just because to keep us. And they ask to evacuate, and they promise us that we will be allowed to come back when the situation down. And after the situation down, they didn't allow us to come back. And in 1953, Supreme Court decision allow our forefather to come back, but the army destroyed the homes, and until now we still wait to come back.
Well, I yeah, I believe one day there'll be a new Baram, and it will be a great village. And yeah, I'm believing for that. We've been working a long time to see that happen. Um, so you know, what do you think? As the war in Gaza, is going to come to an end soon. It's likely. How do you think that things will shift to the north more, or are those two kind of conflicts pretty different?
I am sure that it will come to the north. I think that the IDF is still way to finish in Gaza and to be really just busy here in the north. I hear also from the citizens that already evacuate that they will not come back in this situation, and again after a few years or after a few months have the same again with Hezbollah. So if they don't have war and take Hezbollah further than the Litani, the citizen will not come to the north, and it's very dangerous because they should be citizens in the border to keep the border and to keep the north. So we just feel that the IDF all the time and the government try to take another time. Just if they like felt or send rocket to the north, we will send back. And it's not really like it's daily we have here, and I am usually share with the Philos pictures and videos about what happened here. And the last few days we feel that it will be soon, and we try to help the citizens to be ready soon for really difficult times here in the north.
Why is this conflict with Hezbollah happening? Like, what's who is Hezbollah? Why are they so angry about Israel? What's that? What like? Tell me about them.
So I believe that Hezbollah, like Hamas, like Iran, like Jihad, like a lot of names until under the like one mind, one it's like Iran, and a lot of names, and all these people call annihilation of Israel and the Jews here. So that's why like October 7 beginning with Hamas, and we see all this terroristic group beginning to fight with Israel, because this is they have the same praise Iran praise of Iran, and they just call of annihilation of Israel.
And it doesn't matter that there's like people like you who are not Jewish there in the land, right? There's like not just Christians, but Druze and like Arab Muslims and all types of people, particularly in the north. Even it's very mixed up there, right?
The North is example for the life in Israel, because we live here, Jews, Druze, Cherkessan, Muslims, Arabs, Aramaic, like a lot of communities here live, and all of us suffer here this war actually like in the north. And we can see that in our life our village is Muslims and Christians, and both we are suffers. We cannot also like join masses and enjoy masses just inside shelters. Just the last week the Orthodox Jews have a holiday in Miron, Lag Baomer, and they are not allowed to come and celebrate this holiday and just share it in the social media. So all the citizen in Israel, all the citizen in the north actually suffers as also as well as the Christians in Lebanon, that they are against Hezbollah and against the war. Also, they suffer, and they dragons the country for a war based of Iranian interest, and causing the people in Lebanon a huge suffer too.
Yeah, I saw a video yesterday of a guy in Lebanon basically going, like, like who told Nasrallah that he could go and attack Israel? Like, why is that Lebanon's thing? I thought we were democracy. They like he gets a call from Khomeini, hey, go attack the Jews, right? Like that's like he was very frustrated by the fact that the whole of Lebanon's being drug into this, and it impacts tourism, it impacts businesses. Same in Israel.
Yes, the same, and it's more difficult because there no government that can support the people and pay for people to evacuate or to pay for business that down in this difficult time. I have family there, you know. I have friends there that they share with me, and also has Nasrallah himself when he spoke last week. He said that I know that a lot of people don't agree with this war, but I say from the beginning that I want to support Hamas in this war, and I will stay attacked Israel until that Israel like finish to attack and finish the war in Gaza. And he didn't like take care about no one in Lebanon, and it makes me really very sad. It should be the most beautiful country in the Middle East.
One day, Naveen will, I'll be able to rent a car in Tel Aviv and drive to Beirut, and
I mean, I mean,
right, like it's eat the good food along the way. I mean, right, the best hum.
Tel Aviv to Jish to eat in my home and then to Beirut.
Yeah, exactly. Pick you up, then we'll go have seafood
Yes,
in Sidon or something,
I
right?
mean,
Like
I hope.
one day, peace between Israel and Lebanon will happen, and when Hezbollah's out of the way, that's how the way this whole region improves is by these Islamist organizations. They gotta get thrown on the ash heap of history. They're just pure garbage, you know. All right, so what is it like to be a Christian in the IDF? You are, it's Israel Defense Force. It's mandatory for Jews, but it's optional for Christians. So, what's it like as a Christian in the IDF?
So I am very excited to join the IDF before this war happening, and I just feel that God asked me to do that, and it's happened. I just joined the IDF when I was 39 years old. For the people that don't hear that before, yes, they really want to have me in the IDF and to be example for Christians that. Uh, we want to tell them that it's never late to take part and to be involved in the IDF. And to help during this time, it's make me really understand also what about all the mothers that have also soldiers in the IDF. I am a mom for Elias that he fight in the beginning with Hamas and now with Hezbollah. And it's really, really very difficult. And we with non-stop to pray for have all the soldiers back and safe. And I also in the beginning I lead the pre-military that we have for a Jewish and a Christian together in the Sea of Galilee. And in the beginning, when after October 7, we were sure that the youth will afraid and they will leave the pre-military and will not join the IDF. But we were surprised that all the youth finished the pre-military, finished the draft, and all of them joined the IDF in the last March and April, and they are now in the IDF, and we are very proud for them. And
So let me interrupt you there. So to explain to our viewers here, there's a pre-military academy, right? So if I understand this right, what happens is before people go into the military, they can do after they graduate from high school, they can take a year and do kind of like a pre-military. Uh, what's it like a year or something? How long is it? How
it's leadership Christian and the Jewish educational pre-military program for 7 months. Or 6 or 7 months that Jewish and Christians stay together in the same place in Kibbutz Bet Zera in the Sea of Galilee, near the Sea of Galilee, and we prepare them for the IDF.
Okay. So you have Jews and Christians basically doing this program together to what? Help better understand the different communities? Is that kind of the point of it?
Yes, it's just to make them understand and to the problem in Israel that in our school they don't study in the Arabic system about our history as Christians, and also not about Israel. A lot of youth finish the school, the high school, and they don't know anything about, not about our Christianity and not about Israel and not our history and the Jewish. So during this pre-military, we teach them about Christianity. We have priests that came and teach them, and also about the Jewish, about Israel and the history, and also we teach them about the IDF, which units we have in the pre-military, how they can involve, how it's important to take part and to be involved in Israel and to be a good citizen. It's not enough to have a passport, Israeli passport, and when we have operation, we will have the flag of Palestine. They should understand and they choose before they join the IDF that yes, I am Israeli citizen. I want to keep our country safe. I want to join the IDF, and it's really very easy, and it's possible to be friends with Jews and other citizens here.
So your concern, was that the participants of the pre-military academy, there was a possibility that they wouldn't go into the IDF, particularly the Christian ones, the one that didn't have to. And you're saying that all of the ones who were part of the program, all the Christians joined the IDF. Is that correct?
Yeah, we hope that one times it will be like all the Christians should serve in the IDF. It will not happen soon because we are live together with Arabs people and Muslims that they don't like this. But if we can really get more for the Christians and have our system in the schools, and we can share exactly our story and our history and the Jewish history and Israel, I am sure that everyone will choose to go to the IDF. We can see that I am get a lot of calls that youth want to join the IDF, the 8th draft that we beginning to work for it, but the parents now they afraid, and yeah, just because of the situation. But we still that people really and the youth really understand now that no safer place for Christians more than Israel.
That's right. No, totally. Like you see them decline. The number of Christians are declining all across the region, except in Israel. So let me hang on to this moment here where we about the education. So what you're saying is that Aramaic Christians or Arab Christians who are in Israel, they learn their education system is the same as they're in the Muslim track, basically, right? Like, and so they learn about Islam, they learn about Muhammad, they learn about all the Islamic stuff, but they don't learn about Israel, and they don't learn about Christianity, and then obviously the Jews are not learning about Christianity, and so really the education system, it like thank God that like the Christians are sticking it out because the education system is it seems that it would benefit from having there being a Christian track.
I am very excited about this educational like pre-military because it's the only place that the youth can know about our history and about Christianity. And I was shocked. Like I know I can share with you. I am sure that also share before, but usually I share with the people the story of Ilyas, my son. When it was Memorial Day and he heard the siren and he asked what happened, why we hear the siren in the Memorial Day, and the teacher say nothing, it just want to try the sirens. But when he came back, he see that in on the TV they talk about Memorial Day, and he asked me, "What is Memorial Day?" And look, I like serious. I didn't know what to answer, and like I was, I think that 30 years old, and I didn't know what it's Memorial Day, and I was very shy, like because also I hear the siren and I work in kibbutz Baram with Jewish, and see that everyone stand for the Memorial Day, and I was shy to ask why we stand and why we hear the siren. But Elias remember this day, and next year when he hear the siren, he stand. And the teacher asked, "Why you stand, Elias?" And he shared that I stand because it's Memorial Day, and I want to stand and pray for the soldiers that pass away to keep us here and to keep Israel. So she say, "No, you cannot do that. It's Nakba for us, and they kill these soldiers kill the Palestinians every day, and you cannot stand." And she asked Ilyas to leave for 3 days the school. That's why Ilyas chose to go to Jewish school and to study in Jewish school. Yeah, so we learn about the Nakba and not what the about the Independence Day of Israel, and not about the Memorial Day, and not the history of our country, and we are citizen. So all the youth finish the school, and they say that we are citizen, but they are not citizens because they don't know anything about Israel.
Wow. No, it seems like yeah, it seems like the pre-military academy is really important to help kind of be a bridge, and hopefully it begins to work its way through the whole of the Israeli society. So let me shift gears a little bit. Like, as a Christian, one of the things I did, 6 weeks ago or something like that, was I had this reaction video to Tucker Carlson and Munther Isaac, who was this pastor in Bethlehem, talking about basically all of the Christians in the whole of Israel are suffering under the boot of Israel, and how it's terrible and all that sort of stuff. What's your experience as a Christian in Israel? And if you had an opportunity to say something to Tucker Carlson, what would it be?
So I am usually very angry when I hear that the Christians actually in Bethlehem talk about it, that we are sufferers. I can invite everyone to come and to see how we enjoy freedom here in Israel in all the churches. Yes, it sometimes happened in Haifa and St. Elias, but I see that a lot of Jewish came and stand with us and support us and say that this Jewish, like they are not talk about all the Jewish, and they are sorry about what happened. And also in Jerusalem, I usually visit there, and also in the Holy Saturday. And I am really like the last 5 years, I am every years when going there and they check what happened there, because they share a lot of videos for the soldiers, and police attacked the people. And I just say that the social media it try to make really problems, and between the Christians and the Christians that live in Israel, and the government. I am not agree with what this priest say. And also I was in Bethlehem and hear from the Christians there, does they suffers from the Jewish or from the Muslims? If they afraid to say that they afraid from the Muslims there, that their problems, not our problems. But I can share a lot of problems that happen there from the Muslims for the Christians, and not from Jewish. It's never happened that the Jewish went to the Bethlehem and attacked the Christians or attacked churches here. So I am not agree. I am like a Christians. I am feel that we are enjoy freedom here. I am now sure that as a Christians, no safer place than Israel for Christians. I will not be at Gaza, and I hear a lot of stories happen in Gaza in this war and before, and also in the West Bank. I am helped the last few years a lot of people that suffer from Hezbollah and from Hamas and from Fatah, and not about the from the Jewish.
So, one of the things I over the years found out is that oftentimes when Palestinian Christians speak publicly, they'll tell you all about, oh, me and the Muslims, we're getting along great. It's amazing. It's really the real problem is, it's the Jews. And yet, when you get them alone, when you get them by themselves, they'll tell you a totally different story, right? And it's your experience as well, probably.
Yes, I do that a lot. I went and I asked. They say in the beginning, no, we are Palestinian, but when are like alone and together, can you help me to have Israeli ID? Can you help me to take the Israel Palestinian passport and to have the Israeli one? And also, when we share how much we enjoy here in Israel, with everything that we have, the insurances that we have, how I am allowed to be everywhere and to work everywhere and to join the IDF when I was 39. It's make everyone also excited. And look, it's not only the people that live in the West Bank or in Palestine. It's also the people here in Israel. In the beginning, they afraid and they say how you can do that, and to say in the social media and to be with the uniform. But when we are like alone, they told me, I hope that I can do what you doing. I believe in this way, but I am afraid. Why they afraid? Because they live together with the Muslims. But if the government think good, they can take these people, these Christians. We are all like, we are just like 2%. Come and help us to be strong. Build for us a town just for Christians like Melia and Fasuta, and give me our system to teach in the school, and come and check after a few years if we will be really pro Israel and join the IDF, and we will be Zionist more than the Jewish.
That's awesome. So, I got one more question. What there's this when I say the word pluralism, what does that mean to you? Because it's one of the words we use a lot at the Philos Project. But I'm curious, when I use that word, what does it mean to you?
If you ask me before I join like Philos and become a follow at Philos, I will not answer because I will not understand what you talk about. And also, if you come to Jish and ask, also will not answer because they don't understand. But I think that everyone have the options to choose, the options to study and to hear our history as a Christians again. I think that it's really very important. And I just the last few years like beginning to say that I am Zionist. I am feel that I am Zionist more and more and more, just because I become understand really like our history about like I feel just now I am like can say that I am Israeli citizen, I am Zionist, and I am not like shy to share that.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I know. I feel the same. Actually, I think at the beginning of when I first started getting involved in the conversation and visiting Israel, I would say that it took me a while to say that I was a Zionist. I was a Christian and I support Israel, but I don't know if I'm a Zionist. And then I would say that changed to become, well, I'm a Christian who's a Zionist, right? And now at this point, I'm like, I'm a Christian Zionist, and you should be one too. That's where I'm at, right? Like it's
The same. The same, and I say that from my heart. Like I feel that. But before I didn't understand what you talk about. Like the first time when I meet you and Robert and beginning to meet, like I didn't understand what you talk about. But yeah, after 5 years, I am share that all the time.
awesome. No, it's so good. I think it's so important for people to understand that Israel is not just Jews and Arabs, right? That there are other peoples in the land, all of whom are suffering because of this war that is brought about by, in part, funded by Iran, but ideologically its roots are in a Islamic supremacy that believes like everybody else should be under the boot of this ideology. And I think it's up to people all over the world, in Israel, all the communities in Israel, from the Arameans and the other Arabs, the Druze, the Circassians, like everybody, basically, like, listen, we're in this together. We got to push back together, and it's not just the people in Israel, but it's people around the world who see that this is a global issue, right? Like it doesn't stop at the borders of Israel, right? Like I'm sure the Aramaic communities in other parts of Europe are like, wow, this is we gotta stand together, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. And also, I after October 7, we see that the people here and the Christians also and the Maronite, actually, that they really understand what happened in October 7 when Hamas attacked in the south. That the same happened in Damour in the 1976. And we're beginning to afraid, okay, it's happened in the south, but maybe Hezbollah now will understand that it's worked very well with Hamas, and they will make the same. And who's live in the north? We are very close, and we are Christians. I don't think that Hezbollah now will take care about us. And we can see that they attacked in the beginning of the war the church in Ikrit. So I don't think that if they came and see that I am Christians and I am with the cross and my home look really very Christians, they will say, no, we will not attack you. No, they will attack me. And they attacked before, and they make the same genocide with us before. So we are really very understand what happened in October 7th, and the people become more afraid for these people.
Yeah. No, that's an important word. So, thank you so much, Naveen, for your time, and I'm very proud to call you a friend, and I'm very excited to see how, just praying for you and your family, praying that Hezbollah and Hamas are defeated, and that there can and will be one day peace between Israel and Lebanon, and we can the picture of pluralism, religious freedom, rule of law spreads throughout the region, because that's a good thing. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Amen. Thank you, Luke.